Alright. Okay, we're finna go in. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahawah, YAHAWASHI, 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 Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the Elder Apostle GMS who rule well. Salute you brothers pushing this word and truth, sincerity, and strength to power YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. Right? We out here to prophesy the downfall of this wicked, destructive kingdom known as Babylon the Great, controlled by the Esau, Edom, a so-called white man. That's his biblical identity, that's his biblical nationality, and we out here to gather the elect through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, and truth and sincerity of the nation of Israel, which consists of Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. Alright, now you see what's going on in the news. You had you got over there in DC, the military, the hotel that they stay in, they was ordering pizza from the hotel that they stay in over there in Washington DC, and when they ordered the pizza, they found out it's the military now in DC that was ordered to be in DC. They ordered pizza and they found out that it was crushed up glass in there. Didn't nobody get hurt, but it was baked with glass, crushed up glass in there. That's in the news too. Then you got what's going on in Seattle. They have took over the precinct in Seattle, and the police is like they ain't got no support from the government officials in Seattle. And then they also got a documentary. They also got a documentary called Seattle is Dying. And there's a lot of heroin addicts and homeless people in Seattle. And when the police try to arrest them, all they do is get out of jail, man, or don't even put them in jail. You know, just let them go. One of the two. But it all boils down to slave patrol is not being supported in Seattle. So therefore, you got a lot of slave patrol / police officers stepping down in Seattle, putting in their resignation. Now they done took over. They say the civilians over there, which Trump called them terrorists. Okay, Donald Trump was calling them terrorists. Okay, and you got some of them armed, and then they say they be armed at night. That's what the news is saying. They be armed at night, but they got barricades around at least 6 to 7 blocks. You know, and they basically saying they govern themselves. They don't need no police officers. They independent. And when you look at certain footage about what's going on in there, it looked like Containment. That show Containment on Netflix, and it looked like a scene from RoboCop. That's what's going on in there. You know, all the graffiti on the wall. So they have basically used Black Lives Matter to take over the precinct. You know, that's what they have done, man. And that's going into what? 2nd Ezra the 15th chapter. Matter of fact, you want to get that. 2nd Ezra the 15th chapter and the 16th verse. That's sedition, man. And then they were saying that that they hearing word about that same situation is going to happen, and that's what they saying, according to them, according to the news. That's what they saying. I ain't saying it, that's what they saying. But I'm just repeating what they saying. They saying it's subject. They hearing news that it's subject to take place in Portland, Oregon, and in Nashville. That's what they hearing. That's what the officials are hearing. Okay, so that social media is that caused the news. That caused the news and the word to travel fast, man. And that's gonna cause them to. That's gonna cause them to cut the web, man. It's gonna become a family of the word because people are communicating through Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and all that. So they're gonna end up cutting it, man. That's going to bring the famine of the word, man, according to prophecy, man. So that's what's going on in the news, and that's prophecy, and it's going to get worse. I made the brother read it, you know, because that's prophecy, man. We got to bring it out and warn you, Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. Things like that is going to increase, and we are waiting for the next birth pain, you know, because when you understand the scriptures and you look into the birth pains, women, them birth pains, sometimes they strong, and sometimes they die down. Sometimes they strong, sometimes they die down, sometimes they strong. And if you look at footage on YouTube about women in labor and birth pains, that's the same way these prophecies are happening. Sometimes they pop, you know, and then they'll die down a little bit. Sometimes they pop, and then they die down a little bit. But what it is those are birth pains. And then on top of that, when you understand a woman, when she's giving birth, she loses a lot of blood. So before Israel, the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans get up out of here, there's going to be a lot of bloodshed on the earth, man. So that's why YAHAWASHI compared these earthquakes in diverse places in the beginning of sorrow to birth pains, man. Okay, a woman birth pains. That's why he said that, man. Because when you, like I said, when you understand that, them birth pains that hit sometimes you get false alarms, sometimes you don't. And sometimes it's the real thing. But what's gonna happen is when Israel, when that baby, it's time for Israel to get delivered, hey man, it's gonna be a lot of bloodshed, man.
It ain't no stopping it either, man.
It ain't no stopping it.
You've been a person that's actually had the, you know what I'm saying, had a demon or whatever, you know, and actually went through that birth, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta speak up because, you know, we ain't out here with this traffic.
You know what I'm saying? And for all you, you know what I'm saying, brothers or the YouTube world, if you've actually had, you know, a woman or whatever that was pregnant and, you know what I'm saying, as she got closer and closer to that birth, you know what I'm saying, those pains went from a certain, you know, amount of time, and it kept getting closer and closer and closer, but there was nothing that stopped it, you know, from the baby eventually coming out.
Yeah,
you know, giving birth.
Yeah, and it's all they use that analogy of a woman giving birth, because that's how these prophecies are happening. Sometimes it'll escalate and then it'll die down. Sometimes it'll escalate, then it'll die down. But eventually it's gonna come to the point where you ain't gonna be able to stop them pains. They're just gonna come. It's gonna come because it's gonna be time for Israel to get delivered, man. And like I said, according to prophecy, man, a lot of bloodshed is gonna be shed throughout the earth, because that's what happens. It's natural when a woman gives birth. It's natural for her to lose a lot of blood, but it's gonna be a lot of bloodshed, man. That's why Apostle Tahar would say America is an altar, because it's gonna be a lot of bloodshed on this land, man. You know, through the spirit, man. And that's powerful, man. That, you know what I'm saying, he brought that forth, that America is an altar, man. And on that altar is gonna be a lot of sacrifices. With that sacrifice, it's gonna be bloodshed, man. You know? So read what you got in 2 Ezra 15:16.
All right, this is 2 Ezra, chapter 15, verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Yeah, a perfect visual of that is what's going on in this Seattle, man. That's gonna intensify and it's gonna escalate, man. This is gonna spread, man. I don't know how long that DJ Trump is gonna allow that to happen. You know, it's up to YAHAWASHI how long it lasts. He can put the spirit on Esau to bring in the military and shut it down. But as of right now, the so-called citizens, which Trump labeled terrorists, are controlling the Seattle precinct, man. You know, and that's prophecy, man. Sedition among men, man. And you got the word sedition.
Okay.
Go ahead, bro.
This is the word sedition in the etymology online, and it's from the mid-14th century. It says rebellion, uprising, revolt, concerted attempt to overthrow civil it's a tongue twister, authority.
See, and that's what's going on in Seattle, man. They done made a barricade, and they control 6 or 7 blocks of their area, and they basically saying they separate from America, man. They don't need no police governing them, you know. And they controlling the resources in there, okay? And they also saying you're gonna have to pay a certain amount to do business within that area, man. You know, they drawing up that, man. So they looking to keep the police officers and the so-called American government out of there. They gonna govern themselves, man. You know.
And it says going apart, separation.
Yeah, separate. So they looking at, look, this is they looking at where they got control of. That's the real America. When you leave us, you going into the American control, the corrupt America. That's the way they looking at it, man. The corrupt corporation. That's the way they looking at it, man.
I think I seen a sign also that said when you go into it, it says now leaving the U.S. The USA. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Once you go in there, you're not in the USA no more.
Yeah. Now you, but you're not in the U.S. no more. And U.S. is an acronym, which they don't understand. They don't know about it, but we know about it. They said that you're no longer under Satan's authority. The U.S. under Satan's authority. USA. You know. These people, they out of there, man. But go ahead, bro.
All right, this is verse 17.
I'll start back up at 16 again.
Okay. This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
And like I was saying, the perfect example of that is what you see going on in Seattle, man. And it took over the police precinct, man. Go ahead.
So verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city.
All right, that's when full-scale martial law gonna happen, man. Full-scale martial law. You're gonna desire to go into a city, you're not gonna be able to. Just like certain police officers might desire to go into there, but they gonna go into Seattle, go in that area where it's shut off 6 or 7 blocks, and they can't go in there because people gonna get them up out of there. You know?
Yeah, I seen a video where they were saying something about that. Then people within there are actually starting to kind of fight one another because there was a group of cops that wanted to go back in there to get some of their belongings, and there was a group of people that were actually protecting the cops, and then there was another group of people that wanted to get the cops. You know what I'm saying? And amongst themselves, you know, they were arguing, saying, you know, well, what was the point? Yeah, so what's the point of us doing all this? And y'all gonna sit there and protect the cops?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they have the infight. Which that's gonna happen, man. That's gonna happen, man, because this place is corrupt and it's wicked, man. That's gonna happen, man. You know? Infighting. That's gonna happen, man. It's gonna get worse, man. And it's gonna tell you in the scriptures. Go ahead.
All right, this is 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 17. A man should desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor.
See, that's that division. See? Because once that food get cut off, you know, that division gonna increase. All right, they can just cut off the internet up in there and people are losing. You know? They'll go nuts because they ain't got access to the web. They can't post nothing on Instagram or Facebook. Go ahead, bro.
It says, but shall destroy their houses with the sword.
Yeah, people gonna be robbing each other, man. You know, people gonna be robbing each other. And if the Most High don't put the spirit on Trump on the left-hand side to go up in there and shut it down, which the Most High, you know what I'm saying, he can show you examples before they happen. You know, he can let it go on so long, but he can also put the spirit on Trump to go in there and shut it down. But the longer they continue to be by themselves, isolated like that, eventually they're gonna run out of food, man.
Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna start robbing each other, man. You know? These people ain't got no order, they all about self, man.
Gun.
When it comes down to it, man. America citizens hate each other and they all about self, man.
Okay.
You know? Go ahead.
And spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
Yeah. And for great tribulation, affliction, man. You know? So that's what it is, man. So that's a prophecy being fulfilled to where you can see it with a visual. You can actually visually see it, and it's an example, and it's going to increase, man. It's going to get worse, man. Like I was explaining earlier about the birth pains, man. You know, sometimes it gets, you know what I'm saying, it gets, you know, sometimes you get false flags, and sometimes, you know, it's time for her to give birth, man. But them birth pains gonna keep coming, man. Keep coming, you know? That's what's gonna happen, man. And we waiting on the next big one, man. You know? We waiting on the next big one, and then we waiting on that deliverance, man. You know? Where the elect get delivered up out of there. Lord willing, we done meant that they do it to the end. This I'm on that.
Oh, that was it on verse 19.
All right, give me Romans, now I'm gonna jump, because I want Romans, the 13th chapter, right? Because we in that time to where you're gonna have these fake pastors try to influence the people to obey the government as far as taking the microchip. No, you're not supposed to do that, man. That's the mark of the beast. So we're gonna break the scripture down because we in that time, man, because you're gonna have them fake pastors try to use this scripture to justify the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans taking that mark of the beast, which is the microchip. So go ahead, bro.
All right, this is Romans chapter 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High.
Right. So it said, let every soul be subject unto the higher power. Now, give me Hebrews 12 and 9.
All right, this is Hebrews chapter 12, verse 9. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us.
Yeah, told you right from wrong according to the scriptures. Go ahead.
And we gave them reverence.
Meaning feared them. Okay? Matter of fact, look up the word reverence right there. So Jake won't say I made it up. You know, Jake. Hey, nah, you made that up. That don't mean that. You know?
What Bible is that?
Yeah, what Bible is that? Yeah, what Bible is that? That's what they'll say, bro. So we looking up the word reverence right there, which means to fear. I'm just telling you ahead of time. You know? Go to the fear. If it ain't there, it's in the etymology for sure. What you got there? See that? That's too small. Y'all bear with us. You sure that's reference? You You might need to double check that. If it ain't there, just pull it up in the etymology online. Y'all bear with us. We want to bring this word out for edification. You know? That's it. Go to etymology then. Oh, let's see it was out the way. What did it say? Out the way, by the way. It didn't really give us nothing.
Reverence in the etymology.
Yeah.
It says to stand in
awe.
Yeah, stand in awe.
Yeah, that's
of
true.
Respect.
Yeah.
Honor, fear.
Yeah,
be afraid of.
Yeah, stand in awe, honor, be afraid of, fear. Yeah, see? So that's what the word reverence means when you go to the etymology online. So it's dealing with fear. So read that again in Hebrews 12 and
all right,
9.
This is Hebrews chapter 12, verse 9. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us.
Which told you right from wrong according to the scriptures. Right? Go ahead. With basically your father judged you, so you can judge, man, according to the scripture. You can tell your children right from wrong according to the scripture. Go ahead.
And we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the fathers of the spirit and live?
Yeah. Subject literally means under the rule of. Under the rule of the Father of spirits. And who's the Father of spirits? YAHAWASHI. See? So go back to Romans.
All right. This is Romans chapter 12, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but the Most High.
See? So that's talking about the Most High. You're supposed to be subject to the Most High and His laws. Okay? That's what that's talking about. This Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 17, verse 17. For in the division of the nations of the whole earth, He set a ruler over every people. But Israel is the Lord's portion. Okay? So Israel is the Lord's portion, the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. So we are subject to the Heavenly Father and His Son under their rule. So read that one more time for me again.
All right, this is Romans chapter 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers.
See, let every soul be subject unto the higher power. It's S.
Powers.
Okay, so what that is the Most High set up Esau. The Most High set up Esau, so you are subject to His laws, to where you don't grab no military force or no militia and try to go overthrow Esau. Okay, you don't do that. That's how you're subject to Esau. You don't go try to so-called white man. That's their biblical identity, their biblical nationality. You don't try to grab up arms and try to go overthrow them. But the Negro, Latinos, and Native American, they are subject unto YAHAWASHI. When it comes to this microchip, you don't take it. Okay? You don't take it. You follow the laws of YAHAWASHI. Okay, go ahead.
For there is no power but of the Most High.
See, the Most High set Esau up. Okay? The Most High is the power, but He set Esau up. Okay, go ahead.
The powers that be are ordained of the Most High.
See, I just spoke ahead. He just read it, you know. But the powers that are set up, you know what I'm saying, that's ordered, they set up by YAHAWASHI. And Esau is set up by YAHAWASHI. Okay? Give me that in Daniel's chapter, I want to say Daniel's chapter 4. By the watchers, Crete. It might be Daniel's chapter 2, if I ain't mistaken. One of them two. I'll help you out. Go over there. Yeah, Daniel chapter 4, verse 17.
All right, this is Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will.
So the Most High set Esau up, okay? He set him up. That's why you can't get no military, the Negro Latinos and Native Americans can't assemble themselves in a military form to try to go to war with Esau, because it won't, a corner war with Esau, picking up guns and trying to go fight like that. You won't win, you'll get destroyed, because the Most High set Esau up. Who's supposed to take down Esau? YAHAWASHI. Okay, go ahead.
And sitteth up over it the base of men.
Yeah, Esau, he the lowest of the earth, man. He the lowest, they the lowest nation of people, and he the lowest nation of man out of the 18 nations that's on this earth, man. He the lowest, man. Okay? That's it on that. So go back to
This is